Hello guys and welcome to Laravel 7 tutorials. So guys, in the previous video we successfully implemented the form that is related to blogs, and we are going to use that specific form for the creation of blog and updating our blogs. In this video we are going to implement the relationships of blogs with other entity, for example blogs relationship with user, blogs relationship with categories, blogs relationship with tags right here. And not only this, we are not only going to implement the relationship, but we are also going to test a relationship so that we can proceed with the creation of blog with the help of relationship in the next video. The reason I wanted to separate these video or cover these videos separately is so that we can cover relationships in great detail, and I can briefly explain what we are doing right here and in the next video. So guys, let's start. And I hope you guys are going to love this video because we are going to implement the relationship and we are going to learn something new. Okay, so let's do that, and let's do it without wasting any further time. Okay guys, so let's move to Git Bash first of all. Okay, I will move to Sublime, everything is aligned. Let's move to blogging, and in the previous video we already implemented the migrations for our blogs table right here. Okay, so let's complete this blogs table, and for that we are going to implement the column names and we are going to implement the relationship of blogs with users and categories. And in this case right here we are not going to define any sort of column related to text because it is going to have a relationship of many to many with the blogs. Basically blogs and tags relationship is going to be a many to many relationship. Okay, so we will cover that in the later part of the video. Okay, so let's start, and first of all I am going to define the relationship column or the foreign key of this table. That would be, let's say, unsigned big integer, and it is going to be user underscore id. Guys, remember to follow the Laravel convention, because when we are going to make a relationship of user with the blog, what Laravel do at the back end is, let's say we are creating a relationship of blogs and user. Laravel is going to make this, Laravel is going to assume that we are referring to this user. Okay, so right here we have users table right here in plural form. So what Laravel does is it is going to make this users into a singular form, in this case user, and it is going to add a suffix of underscore id so that we don't have any conventions related error. So please follow the Laravel convention so that you don't encounter any sort of error. Okay, just follow along me. Okay, next is going to be $table unsigned big integer category underscore id. Once again you can see we have our categories related table right here in plural form. What Laravel is going to do, Laravel is going to make it singular for the relationship. It is going to make it singular, and it is going to add a suffix right here of underscore id. Keep that in mind. Okay guys, okay, let's have our columns related to blog. Now $table string, and first column name, let's say title, and it should be of 255 character maximum, let's say. Okay, $table, and in this case we are going to implement a URL title, not title, URL 255, that's it. Okay, $table, and we are going to have an image. I am also going to restrict this URL to 255. Okay, because it depends on user, but we are not going to have URL more than 255 characters. So yeah, okay, string image, I'm not going to restrict it, $table string, and keep that in mind. If you want to restrict it you can, image underscore alt. Okay, I'm not going to restrict it, table, and in this case string meta of each specific blog. We are going to restrict it, not like that but like this. Okay, now the other field would be string, and it is going to be short underscore description. Okay, and I'm going to limit it to 500 characters, let's say, because it is going to be a short description. That's enough for it. $table, and this time I'm going to use text. Why? Because we are going to have a huge amount of description characters, or whatever you can say. So in the text field there is no restriction for the character length, etc. Basically, when we are using text, we can use up to, let's say, 4,000 to 5,000 characters. Okay, so let's define a column name. Okay, I hope I'm not making any sort of mistake. Another column would be for active. So for that, boolean, and so it should be, the column name should be active, and by default it should be 0. Okay guys, yeah, that's it. Okay, now these columns right here, user ID and category ID, belongs to, or they are a foreign key that belongs to any other table, and they are the primary key of the other table. In this case, this ID is the primary ID in this user table right here, and related to category right here, it is the primary ID of this categories table. So this is the foreign key right here. So let's implement the relation $table foreign, in this case user underscore ID, references ID on another table, which is on users on delete cascade. That's it. Yeah, okay, and I'm going to copy this. Let's copy this, copy and paste it right here, and let's remove the extra space right here. Let's make some changes. In this case, we are going to use categories table, and ID reference would be ID, and in this case the foreign would be category. Okay guys, so we have defined our columns names right here. So we are ready to migrate our table into the database. So let's do that, and for that I will move to git bash php artisan migrate. Okay guys, so our table is migrated successfully. Let's move to Chrome, and let's try to access the phpMyAdmin, localhost phpMyAdmin. Okay guys, now let's move to blogging, and I'm going to move to blogs right here. Okay, so if we try to insert a record right here, you will see the relationship is implemented. See, it is getting the data from the users table, and this category ID is getting the data from the categories table. Okay, so let's implement the relationship first, so that we can test a relationship. For that, we are going to insert some record, but first of all, let's create the relationship. For that, I will move to app, first of all user.php. Okay, and I'm going to define a relationship. First, I would like to explain what this relationship is going to do, or what type of relationship it is going to have with blog. Let's say we have a user entity. Okay, I will comment it user, and it has, user can have basically many blogs. So I'm going to write it in plural. Okay, so one specific user, consider it, basically it is an entity, but for an example also please consider it as an entity. Okay, so this entity right here can have many of these entity. In this case, user can have many blogs. Okay, and let's try to do it inverse way. Blogs, okay, users. ठीक है? Okay, sorry guys. Okay, so right here blogs, it is the inverse relationship, and right here what we mean is this entity belongs to this specific individual entity. Okay, so the relationship would be user can have many blogs. Okay, and in inverse, many blogs relates to or belongs to one specific user. So this is going to be the relationship of users and blog. So let's try to implement it. Okay, user has many blogs. Public function and method name would be blogs. Okay, just keep that in mind. Whenever you are going to use or you are going to name your relationship method, what you have to do, just keep that in mind. Whenever you are going to implement a has one or belongs to relationship, your method name should be singular. Let's say I will show you with an example. Control Z, return dollar this has many app blogs, not blog, sorry, not blogs but blogs. Okay, so let's say if this relationship was like this, has one, I will remove it, has one. So what we are going to do is we are going to name this method singular like this. Okay, but in this case a relationship is has many. This is also Laravel convention. Okay, just keep that in mind. So in this case a relationship is has many. So what you have to do, you have to name your method in the plural form, in this case blogs. Okay, let's create the inverse relationship of this. Okay, so I will move to blog, and first of all I would like to because for the CRUD operations I am going to use the Laravel Eloquent ORM. So let's say if we are going to create a record or blog using Eloquent ORM, for that what we need to do is we need to define it in the model that these fields are fillable. Okay, so I'm just going to do that right now. Protected dollar fillable, and the column names we have to define each and every field we are going to have. So in this case user underscore ID, these are the column names that we just created in the migration. If I want to show you, let's see right here, see these columns. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, category underscore, not like that, category underscore ID, and another one would be title, and the other one is URL, and the other one is image, and we have image underscore alt, and we have meta, and we have short description, and we have detailed description. Okay, and we have active. That's it. Let's move to next line. Okay, so this is what I wanted to do. This is related to Eloquent ORM. For the creation of blogs, I'm going to use the Eloquent ORM. So we need to define these field as a fillable properties. Okay, just keep that in mind. Okay, let's move forward and let's implement the inverse relationship as we have discussed it in the user model right here. So what we are going to do right here is let's put a comment. First of all, blogs belongs to user. Okay, let's say a user can have many blogs, and many blogs belongs to one specific user. So we are defining a relationship. Public function, and in this case we are going to have a belongs to. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to name it singular. Laravel convention, return dollar this have not belongs to app user. That's it. Okay, and I just want to mention this right here. If you are using Laravel 8, what you have to do, it is not going to work for you, because I have seen that in Laravel 8 we are having these models inside app and inside another folder models like this. So what you have to do is you have to define it like this, because these models are basically mapped in this model folder, app model and then models right here in this folder. Okay, so this is the only difference you have to define right here if you are using Laravel 8, and if you are using Laravel lower than 7, it is going to work perfectly fine for you. Okay guys, so now it's time to test a relationship, and for that I need to create some record. Okay, so in this case we already have our categories and tags. So in this case I'm just going to create the records related to blog. Okay, let's do that. let's say in this case I have only one user, so I'm going to assign this block to this first user, and it is going to have a category programming, let's say first one, and I'm going to put a title first block. Okay, and I'm going to copy this and I'm going to insert it in each and every specific row. For now, this is just for the testing, guys. Okay, and I want it to be active. Okay, let's put another one, and this block also relates to first user, and in this case we are going to create, basically this block relates to this health category, let's say, and the name would be second block. Okay, let's copy this, let's paste it right here, and active should be, let's say, 1, and I want to create 1 or 2 more records. So let's do that, yeah guys, so that I can show you how to for each multiple records as well. In this case, once again, user will be 1, and let's say the category would be once again programming, the first one. Okay, and this is the third block. Control A, Control C, paste it right here. Okay, if you want to, you can move forward. If you don't want to watch me creating all these stuff, okay, you can move forward. Okay, the fourth one would be, let's say, once again, first they map to first user, and in this case I'm going to assign it to the third category, sports, and let's say fourth blog. Copy, and that's it, guys. Now we can test our relationship. Okay, and 1, that's it. Okay guys, so it is successfully done. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run my project, PHP artisan serve. Okay, let's move and access our project right here. Now is the time to implement, or we have already implemented the relationship of blogs with user. So now is the time to test this relationship. Okay, let's move to web.php, and I'm going to create a testing route, or because we are going to remove it, okay, afterwards. This is just for the testing routes, or configuration routes, you can say. Okay, so let's create a route get user blogs. Okay, and it is going to be a closure function, and let's end it right here. And first of all, I'm going to find a user, $user equals to user find 1, that's it. And we are using a model right here, not model. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to implement all the classes or all the models right here. Use app user, not like this. Okay, use app category, use app what should be, yeah, block. Okay, use app, and we are going to have tag, that's it. Okay, now let's ddr first user, $user, that's it. Let's move, and I'm going to access my route user blogs. Syntax error unexpected, we missed something, guys. Okay, let's check it out. Okay, everything looks fine, use app user. Okay, let's see where the error exists. Okay, so we have an error right here in the user has been, basically this is going to be a user.php. So we have an error in our user.php. Okay, blocks. Okay, right here, it's a method, guys. I hope you guys noticed it. Okay, fine, refresh. Okay, now we have our first user right here. Okay, you can see the name, and you can test it in the database as well if you want to. Okay, so now the next step is, let's say I want the first user related block. So what I'm going to do, simple, I'm going to use the method. I will show you with an example. Control P, web.php, right, not web, Control P, user.php, this one. Guys, I'm using this method name to get the blog get the blocks that are related to this specific user. Okay, so let's do that. I want all the blocks that are related to first user. In this case, we are getting the data from the app user model. Now we are going to get the data from the blocks. Okay, once again we missed something. I don't know why. dd user blocks, something right here. Nope. Let's see. Right here, user. Oops. Syntax error, unexpected public. Okay, we have an error in our blog.php. Okay, app user exactly belongs to, return this belongs to, everything looks fine. Let's see where is the error. Unexpected. Okay, right here. Silly mistakes. Okay guys, see, it was trying to implement the relationship. I will show you once again. Let's see this error clearly. Okay, basically guys, we are trying to get the blocks that are related to this specific user. What it is doing at the back end is it somehow came right here in the blocks.php. This means that Laravel is efficiently handling the relationship right here because it came here right here. So it knows that user has a relationship with blocks. Okay, I just wanted to show you. Now let's move forward, refresh. Okay, so now see, we have 4 blocks and all are mapped to first user right here. Okay, so right here you can see all the blocks. If you want to, you can check the details for each and every one. See first, and let me open the 4th one. So we can see the title, 4th block. Okay, so the forward relationship is working perfectly fine. Now I just want to show you this as well. Okay, I just wanted to show you. Okay guys, so now what can we do? Okay, let me show you one more thing. That is, let's say if you want to get the blog's name, let's say if I am going to do a name, blog's name, we are not going to get anything. We are going to have an error. I just wanted to show you. See, so for that, let's say if you want the first user related blog's title, what you can do is use a for each $user blogs, because blogs is a relationship. Basically user can have many blogs, so in this case we are going to have an array. So what we have to do is implement a for each loop through basically. Okay, blog, and let's say echo $blog title, and I'm going to concatenate a br. That's it. Now we are going to have the titles of the 4 blogs that are related to first user. See, okay, so I hope you guys understand this. Okay, let's move forward, and now I'm going to check the inverse relationship from blogs to user. Let's say I want to get the user that is related to first blog. So let's do that. Okay, once again I'm going to, let's say, copy this to save some time, and I'm going to change this route to blog user. In this case I want to find the user that are related to specific blogs. Blog, and this should be blog. Okay, and let's dd $blog. Let's move forward. Okay, and let's comment this out, and we need to change the route, blog user. Okay, so we got our first blog right here. Now I want the name of this specific user that is related to this blog. So let's do that. Blog user, it is going to get data from the users table now. See, and we have every detail. Let's say I want the name, so what I can do is simply get it as an object property, and now we are going to see name of this specific user. Okay guys, so I hope you guys understand this. Now let's say if you want to find the username of every blog, what you can do is, let's change it all. Okay, I just want to cover everything that is coming in my mind. So so that there is no confusion left for you guys. Okay, now in this case it should be plural because we are having multiple records. Yeah, we can have whatever variable we like, but in this case let's go with the syntaxing. Blogs as blog, and I want blog user name. Okay, we are getting all the blogs for each, and we are going to use the method. Basically guys, this is the method that we implemented it right here. Okay, let's move to web.php. Now let's refresh. Okay, so now you can see we are having the name of the user of each specific blog. See, all these 4 blogs are related to first user, so that's why we can't find any difference right here. Okay, so our first relationship, we implemented our first relationship successfully and it is working perfectly fine. Now guys, let's move to blogs and categories relationship. It is going to be exactly same, because once again, let's say move from category to blogs. Category is an entity and blogs is an entity. So in this case, every blog is going to have a category. It is a must requirement. Okay, so in the inverse order, blogs, basically multiple blogs can have same category. Okay, I hope you guys got my point. From the forward, let's say each blog is going to have a specific category, and in the inverse order, blogs must belongs to, or blogs belongs to specific categories. So this is the same type of relationship. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this whole thing and I'm going to open Control P category model right here, and I'm going to paste it right here. Okay, in this case, each specific category can have many blog or has many blogs. So right here, category, each specific, consider it as an entity. Basically it is an entity. Why am I saying this? This is an entity guys. Okay, category has many blogs, so I hope now it makes sense, and the relationship should be similar and exactly same. Okay, now let's move to blogs.php, and I'm going to copy this once again, copy, paste it right here. Blogs belongs to specific category. Okay guys, and in this case method name would be category, once again singular. Why? Because we are using belongs to Laravel convention, and app category. Okay, now everything is fine. Now we can test our method or relationship using these routes. So for this case, I'm going to change these route, category blogs, and in this case, if you want to have it, you can, but I'm going to remove it anyway in this video or next video. So these are just the testing routes guys. Okay, category, find one. In this case, it should be not user, category. Let's move forward. I'm going to dd $category to see if we have our category right here or not. Okay, we have assigned the blocks to the categories as well, if you remember. Category blog. Okay, blogs, maybe, yeah, category blogs. Sorry guys. Okay, so now we are able to find our category right here, programming. See, the first, if you want to, you can move to categories and check it. The first category is basically programming. Okay, let's move forward. I want the blogs that are related to this specific category, where the category is 1. So in this case, the relationship was blogs, the method name right here, because a category can have multiple blogs, same category. Okay, right here, see blogs. So I'm going to use this blogs method, and let's see what we have. In this case, we have 2 blogs that are related to this specific category. Let me show you. Category 1 and third record has a category 1. So right here you can see. Okay, if you want to check more details, you can do it right here. Okay, let's move. And in this case, now let's say if you want, what can we do right here? We have already tested these type of routes. Okay, let's do that once again. the exact same thing that we did for the user. Okay, in this case category, it is going to, we are going to use the method blogs. In this case blog, exactly same. Okay, so it is going to give us the title and not name, because okay, no, everything is fine, sorry, my mistake. Okay, so category blog, undefined category. Okay, let's see. Yeah, spelling mistake. Okay, let's move, refresh. Okay, now right here, these two blogs relates to first category, that is programming. Let me show you. See, programming. Okay guys, so everything is working perfectly fine up till now. Let's move to the inverse relationship, and for that I'm going to change user to category. That's it. Okay, and first let's find an individual blog. Let's say find one, and name should be singular, and we are going to comment it out. And this time I'm not going to dd anything, because we have already checked it multiple times. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to implement the relationship blog, and blog has a method name category to get the categories. I want the first blog category. Okay, blog category right here. See, first let's say I'm going to find this category of the second blog. We are going to have something different, and the third, for the third one, we are going to have the same thing. See, now the name is changed. Now let's say if I find 3, because first and third blog belongs to this specific category, the programming, which we are going to see now, right now. See this one, see, programming. Okay, so everything is clear, I hope. Okay, I'm going to remove this, and I'm going to do one last thing with this one, that is to show you how to for each. Once again, if there is any confusion, all blogs and blogs as blog category name. I want the category name this time. Refresh. Okay, so now you can see we have 4 blogs. Each of them have the category name, which we are showing right here: programming, health, programming, sports. Okay, you can check it in the database as well if you want to. Okay, so guys, our blogs related relationship with categories and user, we have successfully implemented them, and we have tested it, and it is working perfectly fine. This is the best practice to check a relationship before moving to the CRUD operation. Okay, always check your relationship if it is working both ways, like the forward and the inverse. Just make sure, always. Okay, now it's time for the relationship of blog with tags. In this case, we are going to have many-to-many relationship. Why? I will tell you. Blog is an entity and tag is another entity. Blog can have multiple tags. This is the forward relationship, whatever you can say. Okay, and in the inverse order, let's say the tags, each specific tag can belongs to multiple you can say category, not category, blogs. Okay, so the relationship would be something like this: each blog can have many categories or multiple category or multiple tags. Sorry guys, sorry for this mistake. I'm going to say it once again. Okay, in the forward way or whatever you like, blogs can have multiple tags, and the inverse way or the reverse order, each tag can belongs to multiple blogs. Okay, so this is a relationship, and for that, because it is going to be a many-to-many relationship, we need to implement this using pivot table. We can implement it using without using the pivot table, but it is the best practice to use the pivot table, because it is going to let's say it is related to optimization as well. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so let's move forward, and I'm going to stop my project right here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a pivot table. PHP artisan make migration and create underscore. Now the conventions for the pivot table. Okay, let's say we have 2 tables, blog and tag. Okay, first of all, what you have to do, you have to assign them in the ascending order. We have blogs and tag, and blog stands for B and tag stands for T. So in this case, the ascending order would be blog will come first. Okay, so I'm going to write the table name blogs. Okay, this is our first table in the ascending order. Remember that, ascending order. Okay, now what we have to do is, when we are going to place our database or table name, what you have to do is you have to assign it singular while implementing a pivot table. Okay, so we are basically, what I meant right here is to follow the Laravel conventions, or else you are going to have end up having a lot of errors. So this is the convention. What you have to do, first of all, assign the tables in the sort the table in the ascending order. Let's say if we have a relationship of apple and say blog, this is not a relationship, but just for the testing or just for the example, let's say we have an apple and blog. Now these are the two tables. What are we going to do? First of all, we have to sort them in ascending order. That will be apple comes first, apple table comes first. So in that case it would be like this, apples underscore blogs. Okay, and the other thing I want to mention is we are going to always define it singular. So in this case, blogs and tags case, we sorted the two tables and we are going to get the blogs first because B comes first, and after that we are going to have a T. So in this case blogs, and the other thing I'm going to make it singular like this. Okay, create blog underscore the second table name, tag not with S. Let's say if you want to, then you have to remove it to follow the Laravel convention. Create blog tag table. That's it. This is going to be our pivot table, and I'm going to run my project PHP artisan. So that's it, nice and simple. Okay guys, let's move forward and let's move to database, and now we are going to have a blog tag table right here. Let's see, I can't find any. Why? Oops, I think, oops, sorry guys, sorry, because we haven't migrated it yet. How are we going to get the table? Sorry guys, migrate database migrations, we only created the table or the migration right here. Okay, so let's define the relationship. You can see the table name is going to be this. Okay, so let's do that, $table and unsigned big integer, in this case user, not user but blog underscore ID. Okay, always follow the Laravel convention. Once again, it is going to look for the table, adding the S right here, blogs, or make it plural. That's it. Okay, just remember that Laravel conventions. Table unsigned big integer tag underscore ID. And if we want to, we can simply remove this table ID as well, but in this case I'm going to have it. And let's move right here below the timestamp, and I'm going to add the foreign key, assign the foreign key. I'm going to tell Laravel that these are the foreign key. Table foreign blog underscore ID references ID on, any guesses guys? Blogs on delete cascade. $table foreign, and in this case tag underscore ID references ID on that specific table, in this case on tags on delete cascade. That's it. Let's migrate our table. I will move to git bash PHP artisan migrate. Okay guys, so our table is migrated successfully. That means we don't have any sort of error. PHP artisan. So done. Let's move and I'm going to refresh on the data PHP myadmin so that we can see a table. Okay, block tag right here, and now let's move to this one and let's try to insert something. See, once again the relationship at the back end in the database is already implemented. Let's say I want to assign some tags to first blog. Okay, first blog relates to this first tag, blogging life. Okay, and first blog also have a tag of, let's say, second one, lifestyle. Okay, and let's insert this. Okay, let's move to insert. Once again we can add a browse from right here as well, but I don't know why am I not doing that. Okay, let's focus, and in this case first blog is going to have the third category, let's say best blog. Okay, and right here first blog, no, let's implement it to the other blog. Second blog is going to have the fourth top rated, or let's say assign the same one. Okay, same one. Okay, let's go, and I'm going to add a last record. I'm going to assign the second blog tag that is not relevant, top rated set, let's say. Okay, let's go, that's enough. Okay guys, so we have inserted some records right here. If you want to see first blog is we have multiple tags for first blog tag 1, first blog tag 2, first blog tag 3, second blog tag 1. These tags are similar. As I said, the relationship, each tag can belong to multiple blogs. Okay, the relationship. Okay, now it's time to implement the relationship of blogs and users. So let's move to blog, and I'm going to define it right here. Blogs have many tags. Okay, public function tags in this case, and return $this belongs to many app tag. That's it. Okay, now let's move to tag.php, same way, and let's implement the relationship right here. Tags, or each tag, you can write whatever you like. Tags belongs, or tags have many blogs, whatever you like, blogs. Okay, the important thing is the relationship, public function, and in this case blogs, return $this belongs to many app blog. That's it. So we have successfully implemented a relationship. Now is the time to get some records. Okay, so for that, let's say I want to find all the blogs that have specific tag. Okay, so let's find a tag. Let's say I want the tag, first one, tag. Okay, and let's comment this out, and I'm going to search for, let's dd this $tag. I'm not going to dd this one, but I'm going to implement the relation as well, the method name that we implemented right here, blogs. Okay, so I want all the blogs that are related to the first tag, or that have the first tag, right? Let's do that. Tag blogs, I'm going to hit this route. Okay, so now you can see guys, first tag right here, blog 1 has first tag, blog 2 has first tag. So right here you can see 2 records. Just to make sure, you can check the blog ID as well. Blog ID is 1, and right here blog ID is 2. See, blog ID is 1, right here is 2, and right here is 1. Okay, so everything is working perfectly fine guys. Okay, let's say if you want to for each, what you can do is simply use a for each loop. I hope you guys know how to do that now. I'm going to remove this. Let's do a for each tag blogs, and in this case it should be tag, and I want the tag name, let's say, for each blog. Sorry, the blog name, blog title, let's say, that is related to this specific tag. Okay, so in this case we are going to have two titles, the first title, the first blog title, and the second blog title. Right here, let me show you first blog and second blog. Let's refresh. See, first blog and second blog. So guys, everything is working perfectly fine right here. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to check the reverse relationship or the other way relationship. So what I'm going to do is, let's say, blog tags. Okay, and I want to find the first blog, and in this case it should be blog, let's dd $blog tags. Any guesses what would be the output? Any guesses, guys? Just guess it right now. Okay, it is going to show multiple tags that are related to this specific blog. Find one, let's say, and blog tags. See, first blog, for the first blog, let me show you right here. For the first blog we have three tags, tag 1, tag 2, tag 3. Right here you can check each of them. First tag, second, and the third one. Right here. See, so everything is working perfectly fine up till right here. Now let's say if you want to get find all blogs, let's say, and let's say we can't do that. Basically this is for the individual blogs, but let's say, let's try that, and let's say $blogs. Okay, and I want to use blogs. No, it is not going to work, guys. Yeah, I know it is not going to work, but I just wanted to show you the error, but it is going to be just the waste of. So yeah, just leave it. Let's say if you want to for each or use get the let's say name of the tags, you can do that with the find method. Find one, let's say, and blogs. Okay, doesn't matter, but I'm going to change this to blog and blog tags, just the inverse of this relationship. Okay, or the other way, not an inverse. In this case it is not an inverse. Tag and tag name, let's say, blog tags. Okay, so now we can see the names of the tags that this specific or the first blog relates to. So guys, these were the relationship that I wanted to implement before implementing the create operation for blogs. So these are all the relationship for blog, and there is going to be one more relationship that will be related to unique user. We are going to implement the blog and visitor, you can say, relationship, but that will be in the later parts of the video. So in this video we have successfully implemented blogs relationship with user, categories and tags, and we have tested our relationships and they are working perfectly fine. So in the next video we can successfully implement them to create the blog for the blog creation. Okay, so I hope you guys like this video. If you liked it, please like, subscribe and share. Thank you, take care, and yes guys, be ready. Okay guys, take care.